Guys, let's do the question encode and decode strings. In this question, we've been provided with a list of strings, and what we have to do is we have to stringify it, meaning we have to concatenate basically everything and send it over the wire. And it has to be done in such a manner so as to the person who is receiving the string should be able to recreate this list of strings. So this is basically done with the function stringify as well. If you know about it, we stringify something and then send it over the wire. So this is a usual operation. In this, they have mentioned we cannot use an inbuilt function. You're not allowed to solve the problem using any serialized methods. So what the solution would look like, first, if we think about it from the start, someone might be tempted to use a special character, meaning after hello they might want to use a star or a hash or something and do the same thing for other strings that follow throughout the list. But there's a shortcoming to that solution, which is what if the character that we are putting at the end of the string is in fact a character that is present within the string. So if I was to say use a hash as a separating character and I say hello star or a hello hash, and in the next word, let's say in this world there was a hash after r. So once you send it over the wire in a string form, which is the easy bit, it would not be possible to decode it because then we'll be splitting it on the basis of the hash occurring here instead of the hash occurring here. So we have to come up with a method where not only do we have a special character, we also need to know that this special character actually refers to the length of the string that we'll be seeing. So this is what we can do. We can say we can count the length of the string. This is hello, so this is a 5 character string. So we put 5 followed by a hash. So what that would signify is when we start to decode it, we'll see 5. So 5 is the length of this string that we need to get, and hash would denote that it stops at 5. So let's say if the string length was 22. So we just do not want to see the first integer and say 2 because it's a 22. So if we see 2, we should not say the string length is 2. We should go on until it finds a hash that would be the length of the string, and 22 would denote the length of the string. So from there on out we can count 22 characters, and then we'll hit the next integer with that special character. So again we'll find the length of the second word. So that's how we'll do it. The encoding is the easy part, so let's do it. Result would be an empty string to begin with, and for each s, let me create some space. So for each s in this strings list, we can append, or in fact we have to append. So the way we'll do it is we'll say plus equal to and length of s. Now we cannot just do length of s, the first string, because this is an integer, so we have to stringify it. So let's convert it into a string here, and then we'll add our special character, whatever that is. In this, for this purpose, let's do it as a hash sign and plus the string itself, which is itself a string. So this doesn't need to be stringified, but you go on doing this. It'll take the first string, it'll say 5 hash hello, then it will take look at the next string, it will say 5 hash world, and so on, and it'll concatenate everything, and this is the result. So we can just return this. Now decode is the more complex part. And how do we do this? So first we have to get the result. So let's just do an array here, and we also need the index. What index are we looking at? So initially will be 0, and then we'll have to go through the entire string, the stringified string. So let's do while I is less than s, and s is the resultant string. So this is the input. This is what we had sent over the wire. So now we have to go on. This is what we were talking about earlier. Let's say the string could be less than 10 digits or 10 characters long, in which case it would be a single digit. But what if it's 22 or let's say 23 characters long? So what we have to do is we have to see all the integers, because this s will start with an integer. It won't start with an with an alphabet. So we have to count the number of integers first to be able to assess the correct length of the string. So how do we find the number of integers here? We'll have to go on counting until we find the hash, the special character. So that's what we'll do. But this is one loop. This is the outer loop. So we'll have to find an inner loop just to find the length of the string. So we'll say j, and j will start at I, and then we'll say while s of j is not equal to that special character, and that's until that time we'll have to increment. So j plus equals to 1. So this is just counting the number of digits is what it is counting. It is not counting the actual integer, it is counting the length of the digits. So what would be the length be once this is done? So this will stop once j reaches the hash. And once it reaches the hash, so let me get out of this loop. All right, this looks a little off. Let me do the spacings right. This is here, this is here, this is here. All right. So the length is s of I to j. And note here that j is non-inclusive because j is the hash. So we have to get all the integers before that hash. So this is the length. Now this would be a string, so we have to convert it into an integer. Otherwise, this would not be numeric, it would be alphanumeric because it's string right now. And then, so now we've got the length. Now what do? We'll say to the result array, we'll append, and so j is at this hash, right? And we know the string comes right after hash. So what would be the first character? The first character would be at index j plus 1, because we do not want that hash character. So j plus 1, and what is the length of the string? The length of the string, we have it right here. So we'll say j plus 1 plus length. Now it might seem a little easy in the first glance, but bear in mind this last index is non-inclusive. So what we are saying is if you the length, if the length is 2, so if the length is 2, it will be j plus 1, and this would be j plus 2, length being 2, so that would be j plus 3. But the only characters that would be included would be j plus 1 and j plus 2. So length is 2. So all this is to say this particular number is non-inclusive here, and still the resultant length would be the length that we obtained here. So what would be the next character on the string? The next character would be an integer, because we've already we got the first string, so the next we expect again to be the integer. So the integer will be at the index j plus 1 plus length. And we've updated the value of I, so this will go on, and this is a loop, so this will go on. I will be the next one, and then j will start again, and it will be the same thing until it exits. So now we can return the result. So it gave an index, a runtime error, because I am, all right. So this is what I did. I actually put the indices right here, but I should have, um, this is the string that we want, not just the index. So what we want to do is we want to put it in a bracket and then call it as S. This is what we want. So this is the range in S that we are giving it. Okay, now it gets accepted and we can submit it. So essentially, here there's no complexity question. This is just an O of n solution, because we go through the entire string, we encode it, and then we have to decode it. So the trick is to know that just a special character won't suffice. We also have to have it included with the length of the string so that we can split. We have that information on when to split and where to split.